I went to the Tommy Robinson protest on September 13th and it was fine. I also went alone as well. I met my friend like 2 hours later in central London, but I was by myself and I went straight into the belly of the beast and I saw nothing but peaceful people, respectful people. I was even interviewing them. I asked them like in my last TikTok, they're actually good people. And I knew I shouldn't have been afraid. I was never ever going to be afraid because I grew up with English people. I grew up with white people. And they've been nothing but polite, respectful. That's their culture, you know? Politeness, Britishness, you know. The issue is a lot of minority cultures for them have become the predominant culture in areas of the UK like London, Liverpool, Manchester, Luton, to the point that these towns and cities become unrecognisable. And British people flee because they no longer feel a sense of connection or identity to these towns and cities. You wouldn't want to lose what it means to be black. We all love our culture and our ethnicity, and it's the same for white people. They love what it means to be English and they're allowed to love that.
It's not racist to enjoy where you come from. My family were immigrants, my heritage is not from the United Kingdom, but I'm born here. It's not racist for me to enjoy the UK because it's given me a great future. To me, it's not a protest, more of a festival. People embracing the culture of the UK, come together to unite with each other. No matter your heritage, people showing love to one another.
People of colour, be very careful tomorrow. There's going to be a protest tomorrow in central London. I'm not too sure where, but it's led by a guy named Tommy Robinson, and they're going to protest against immigrants coming into the country. The reason it's dangerous is because there's been leaks of them saying that they will even hurt people if they need to. I'm seeing Muslim people saying
London witnessed one of its largest political rallies in recent memory as thousands gathered under the banner of Unite the Kingdom, led by Tommy Robinson. Estimates suggest over 100,000 people converged on the capital, with counter-protesters numbering in the thousands as well. The scale alone made the day historic, straining police resources and filling central London with chants, flags and emotion. From the ground, the atmosphere felt both energetic and complicated. I marched with the crowd along Stamford Street towards Westminster Bridge, though by midday the bridge was closed because of sheer numbers. I, like many others, never actually made it into the heart of the event. The rain was relentless, soaking banners and jackets alike, but spirits remained high. People cheered, sang cheeky songs, some targeting political figures like Keir Starmer, and waved Union Jacks with an almost festival-like zeal. Empty cans littered the pavement and some people were drinking, yet in my experience there was no drunken violence or menace. The day felt noisy, sometimes rowdy, but not dangerous. The demographic reality was plain. The vast majority of attendees were white. Even so, I did spot a few black faces, and I had a genuine conversation with another black man who asked if I had faced racism at the rally. My answer was simple: no. Despite being a visible minority in that crowd, I encountered no hostility, no insults, no sense of being unwelcome.
So, protests were yesterday, organised by Tommy Robinson. And I'm sorry, but I need to call this out for what it is. I'm ashamed at most of the mainstream media and their poor coverage of this issue and deeming it some sort of far-right rhetoric, which simply wasn't true. Even the numbers and the figures that they claimed were, 110,000? Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, look, I think the gig's up for mainstream media on this one. I'm sorry, but this is just the general consensus, and I think that the left needs to start accepting that now. This is going to be the general consensus across the country, and these people will come to power over the next few years. Whether that election comes early or late, we don't know, but it's inevitable at this point. And people, you know, we rose up, we've risen up, and we've said what we've had to say about this stuff, and that's it. It's done. So it's a matter of years now, months, however you see it, before we see a change of the guard here, and rightfully so, because people want to feel protected. They want to have the ability to raise a flag and not be deemed some sort of alt-right kind of individual, which I think is just atrocious that the other side would even suggest that for raising your own country's flag. I just think that's unbelievable. I think it's disgusting as far as I'm concerned. Demographics are not just working class or Robinson's traditional supporters, families, older generations, and people from across the UK, even Republic of Ireland, were present. So Trevor Phillips was talking about how diverse it was there, because I believe he was there on the ground, and he said there were people from all walks of life. It wasn't just this white supremacy nonsense that keeps getting pushed from the left. It wasn't, because as I said to you guys before, this is a cultural issue, not a race one. Okay, and so anyone out there that's still pushing this far right rhetoric, and that includes people, that are not white saying this, you need to do your homework, because that simply is not what's going on at all. Okay, you've got it mixed up, you've got it wrong, and you need to educate yourself accordingly, because you've got it wrong. That's just not how it is.
Guys, there you have it, a compilation of black people who attended the march on the 13th of September. And of course, they have nothing but pleasant words to speak of the event. It was a huge turnout. Media numbers are saying that it was 100 to 150,000. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I've watched many football matches live in stadiums that cater to 50,000, to Wembley Stadium that caters to like over 80,000. And trust me when I say that the march had way more than 100 to 150,000 people. It looked crazy. And black people were there speaking, they were speaking well of, the event. And I had to put that compilation together because I know that this absolutely destroys mainstream media's narrative of that march. They're gonna try to fearmonger, they're gonna stoke up, racial tension, of course. And these videos, none of these videos I've shown you have been on any mainstream media platform. They're just not interested in showing the diversity at these events. They want it to, they're just fixated on showing you, a select few that fits their narrative. So 10 times out of 10, they're probably going to show you a group of white lads, just drinking alcohol with the British flag, the Union Jack flag, or the St. George's flag. And they're going to try and spin it in a way where it looks hostile. But, the people have been there and they've spoken and they've said that it was a very good event. So, media, the mainstream media are losing. They're losing their grip. And what a lot of people have decided to do is actually stop listening to mainstream media and actually go to these events themselves and just go and see what's really going on. Even with the Reform conference that happened, there was a few black people there as well. And they enjoyed it a lot. So a lot of people have just, stopped listening to what the media have to push the propaganda. And they're like, you know what, I'm just going to go and see this for myself. I'm going to go out there and just see things for myself, not just this event on the 13th, but just any common issue that they want to get to the bottom of. Mainstream media will never, ever, report on things fairly. So, people have kind of done their own thing. They want to be their own journalists. They want to see things for themselves and experience things for themselves. And more power to the people. That's a good thing. I'm happy to see that there is a small rise in unity that's happening in UK. And I have to say small rise because a lot of people are still asleep. And it's going to take time to get to the masses, and that just simply takes time. People are asleep and a lot of people still do rely on mainstream media. So hopefully in time people just wake up and we can be united. Instead of divided, because the media are very happy when people are divided. People are scared, people don't want to mingle. That's where media thrives, and they can sell you their stories, they can cater to your fears. So this just showed a different perspective, and I'm happy to show this. So yeah, but anyway guys, didn't do an introduction today. I just wanted to get straight into it. Just wanted you guys to just see the videos, because you probably haven't seen most of these videos, if any of these videos you've seen. So yeah. Anyway guys, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.